Hi, Dr. Gary here on the road. We are dental practice brokers nationwide. We sell dental practices. Today's topic is seller calls up and wants to know, why should I engage a broker if I have an active buyer? And we'll get into that conversation. As of now, we're in 28 states. We have 10 employees and 2 CPA accountants. We're spread throughout the USA from the East Coast to the West Coast now. We're available to you basically 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. And we're available from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. So please give us a call and we'll be able to talk to you and give you some ideas of what's going on with the marketplace, what's happening, where we are, and what the future looks like. Also, our phone number is 201-663-0935. Our websites are dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. But we're available to you. Please call us, buyer or seller. Always give you free advice. If you need a appraisal, we can help you with that too. The information you're about to hear is all for entertainment, or it is we're not giving you legal advice or business advice. If you're thinking about selling to a seller, selling to a DSO, we can help you there because we deal with them all the time. We know who the best ones are, who's consolidating, who's taking forever to go to closing, and what the market is like right now. So we can help you with that. If we generally, when we bring on and we're independent, we bring on a DSO, they will pay our commission often. And when you work with us, we can get your buyer legal fees reimbursed at closing, often based on certain criteria. But we've done that quite a few times. So give us a call. So anyway, we get a call from a seller who we had been talking to for a period of time. And we said, would you like to get moving? He hadn't committed to us yet. I said, would you like to get moving? He says, well, I just came across a buyer that I found on my own, and I'm just going to hold off. Do you see any issues with that at all? I said, no. I mean, you don't have a contract with us. You can do whatever you want. I said, however, you got to realize in this marketplace, you have a new buyer and possibly going to buy the building, or they're just going to rent. You got about 10 moving parts there. And I started saying, well, is the buyer pre-approved at the bank? Does the buyer have an attorney set up? Has the buyer signed a non-disclosure agreement? And they responded, no. I said, well, all that has to be done ahead of time before you even bring a buyer. I said, what we do as brokers is we set the foundation up. And we have buyers that are pre-screened and ready to go right now. They signed a non-disclosure. They've been approved at the bank. They're ready to move forward right now. Why it's different in this time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, everything's different because the market interest rate is going up. The commercial banks are all tightening up on lending. Not as much with the dental, but the commercial banks are. So commercial credit is getting tighter. Landlords are having a really hard time with buildings now because either they're just half empty and their costs have gone up. So it is a big problem. Commercial real estate is not what it used to be. So everything's tightening up. Credit squeeze is on. Credit lines are tightening up. Fortunately for dental, the money is still out there. Fortunately, right now, it's 5.5%. But the interest rates are going to be going up. You go from 5% to 6%, close, that's almost a 20% increase. That's a lot of money. And that's changing rapidly. It wasn't like that a couple months ago, a year ago. So we explained to the buyer, to the seller, we have active buyers ready to go. I mean, why don't you just sign our contract, put your buyer as an exclusion? We won't get paid for it. But at least we can have buyers in the background, backup buyers ready to go. Because if you're just talking to a buyer now for the first time, there's only a 50% chance the deal's going to go through. If the letter of intent has been rendered, yeah, maybe you have a 70% chance it's going to go through. But at this stage, you should have backup buyers, and that's what we're stressing to this seller. And also, there's so many moving parts with this. What if you don't get along with the buyer? You start getting an argument. What if the buyer doesn't get a dental attorney? Then you have more trouble. And the problem just keeps cascading. It's worse and worse. You've got to set up your foundation. Dental attorney for the buyer, dental attorney for the seller. Buyer has to have a restrictive covenant. You got a lot of things to set up well ahead of time. And the seller needs a great attorney. That's your foundation. So we try to communicate this. Plus the ongoing, what if you get an argument with the buyer? Who do you have to talk to? The only person you could talk to is your attorney. And the only one they could talk to is their attorney. The broker in the middle can manage the issues. Oftentimes we're called in to handle the psychological end of it. And there is psychology and a gut feeling that comes into these things. So this is where the broker comes in. The broker manages the deal. All the problems, all the issues, all the questions, we can handle it for you. But in this circumstance, at least let us bring the backup buyer in. Because the interest rates are going up, it doesn't affect you as the seller, but indirectly it does, because money is getting to be more expensive. So interest rates go up to 6 or 6.5 or 7. That money's more expensive now. What are you going to do? Now the value of your practice, the cash flow is down. So we want to have buyers ready to go if the first buyer pulls out. This is the advantage of working with a broker. Well, a broker like myself, I have 2 CPA accountants, I have 10 employees. I'm engaged in these things 363 days a year. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I've learned a few things. So it is to your advantage to try to get the various brokers rolling and get dental brokers involved, even if you have a buyer right now. You simply sign an exclusion. The broker doesn't get paid on that. So that's something that you should think about, and to help help your deal move along. But over the years, that's what we've learned. We try to play a role. And it's not just us. Sure, we'd like to get more business, but it's more than that. We'd like you to have a successful outcome, whatever it is. If you have your own buyers, sure, you could try to finish with that. We can give you some tips along the way, but give us the opportunity to have the backup buyers ready. And this is real important. All right, thank you for listening. We have a lot of new information coming out, a lot of new practices for sale. We just sent one out 2 weeks ago around Easter time, and we should be sending out more now. I don't think we're going to wait another month because a bunch of new practices have come on the market. All right, so call us. Thank you. 201-663-0935. Thanks.